Hello everyone and welcome to Mr. Cornett's classroom. I realized that was really weird that I just referred to myself in the third person, so we're going to do that over again. My name is Mr. Cornett and I will be your U.S. history teacher this year. If there was one thing I desired from my first day of school, it was less anxiety. Definitely less anxiety. But the other thing I wanted was to get to know my teachers, and preferably not by seeing them at the grocery store in a tank top and flip-flops, because nothing will ruin the immortal image of an educator faster than that. Anyway, since I'm generally funnier on camera and you guys dig jump cuts and TikToks so much, I figured I'd pre-record our first interaction. But really, it's because of my anxiety. My first name is Greg, and I've never liked anyone I've met named Greg, so I prefer Gregory because it sounds more prestigious. The last name is Cornett, but most of my students wind up calling me Corn or some variation of that vegetable. There's popcorn, corn flake, corn dog, or if you prefer a variety that is especially exotic, el elote. Si hablo poquito español, pero es malo porque soy gringo. I am what you would call a millennial, which is an invasive species that typically disrupts society by discussing how much they enjoy paying off their student debt. Speaking of college, I attended U of H, where I majored in history and minored in economics. My wife and I are both alumni of the university. Go Cougs. We have 2 children, Ethan and Ellie. Nature is something all 4 of us are passionate about, and we love to travel across the country seeing rivers, vast mountain ranges, and I don't know why, but sometimes deserts. Oh, and I almost forgot, we've got 2 dogs that we like to take on our little adventures. In my spare time, I run a YouTube channel where I play retro video games and discuss toys, cartoons, and movies from my childhood. I also do these really cool projects where I build arcades and stuff. No, I cannot share my YouTube channel name with you, but when you graduate, I will tell you where you can find it. My other hobbies include playing guitar and occasionally the drums. I've opened up for several big acts while in my last 2 bands, but I doubt any of you have heard of those guys since I'm old and irrelevant. Turns out though, I didn't need to be in a rock band to get famous. I was once featured on the news in 6 different countries because I taught class in my homemade Iron Man suit the day that Avengers Endgame premiered. Don't worry, you won't miss out. I tend to pull off at least one nerdy stunt a year. From everything I've told you, you might think my life has always been remarkably blessed. It hasn't. I am made of both my triumphs and my tragedies. I grew up in rural Ohio on food stamps, raised by a single mother who was heavily addicted to drugs. I've been homeless, and I know what it's like to go more than a few days without much food. I would later move in with a dad that up until that point I didn't know very well. I had to start all over. I struggled with school throughout my adolescence, and I was told by my father at one point I wouldn't graduate when I made a 26 in economics. I ran away from home my senior year, but I didn't stop going to school. I graduated at the bottom of my class, and I was proud. I still am. If you stick with me, you will find I have a lot more to teach you than just history. I can't promise that you won't fail, but I promise I'll never let you fail alone. I take ownership in what we do in this class together. I just want you to do the same. I'm excited to get to know you over the course of this year, and as your teacher, I will do my very best to ensure that you are prepared for whatever future you desire. Get ready, because it's going to be a great year.